camera? It is good. All right. Mayor Jane Castor here. We are at the Tampa Emergency Operations Center where we are and have been fully activated for Hurricane Milton. We're getting very, very close to the point where people will not be able to get out. As you've seen through the messaging communication, FDOT is going to be closing the major bridges later this afternoon, actually probably sooner rather than later. And so those individuals that are making those last minute preparations, put a move on it and go ahead and get out of those evacuation areas. We did have an incredibly high demand on gasoline, but the port has been refilling those gas stations as quickly as possible. Some of the gas stations were empty in my neighborhood last night, and they were all open again this morning. And so you should be able to get fuel to get out of town. The roads look pretty clear right now. You don't have to go far, as we have said before. You just have to get out of the way of that storm surge. That storm surge is still the biggest issue that we're looking at. Any of you who went through Hurricane Helene, that was 4 to 6 feet, and that was more devastation than I've seen in my life. So Milton is bringing the possibility of bringing twice as much storm surge here, from 12 to 15 feet. That is something that is historical, not only for our community, but really for our nation. So we just can't, we have no other way of underscoring the severity of that storm surge. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. You're taking care of your loved ones as well. We have had enough advanced warning that we should not have any deaths as a result of this storm. Neighbors help neighbors. We have transportation solutions. If you can't get out of a certain area, we can send someone to get you. The Tampa Police Department this morning just saved Lieutenant Dan. He has been rescued and he is now in a shelter as well. So if we can get Lieutenant Dan to go to a shelter, we can get anybody to do that. So please, 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 we have open shelters. We have transportation. We have what you need to get out of harm's way. You just need to take that step. We are prepared here. Our solid waste is still picking up that road debris. We're not going to be able to get, household debris. We're not going to be able to get to all of it, but they have picked up probably 70 to 80% of it. And just to put it in perspective, they have done in 2 weeks what normally takes 3 months or more to get done. So they are out there in this weather doing what they can all the way up to the last minute. And I believe it was 26,000 cubic yards of debris. So doing their best on that. As I said, they're going to stop with the collections today. Sandbag sites, locations are closed. The city garages, again, we're leaving those open. You don't have much time. If you don't do it in the next hour or so, you can put your electric vehicles up high. Make sure you are elevating all those electric batteries, electric items as well, because you know those batteries, once they start on fire, they cannot be extinguished. And we lost a lot of houses in the last storm based on that. So thank you all. I have never seen an evacuation of this magnitude, and our community has responded and responded very, very responsibly. So thank you for that. We are prepared for the storm. Worst case scenario is it is a bit north of the Tampa Bay area. Best case scenario is it is a bit south, but that is still not a good scenario. This is going to be a storm of historic proportions with wind, water, and rain. But we will get through this together, and we will come back stronger. Now I'd like to have comments from the Chair of City Council, Guido Maniscalco.
Thank you very much, Mayor. So, as the Mayor said, time is of the essence. The window for evacuation is closing. As the wind speed pick up, you'll see the bridges shutting down, which will be announced this afternoon at some time. As the storm continues to approach us, it is picking up speed. It's expected to make landfall sooner than we originally thought. So if you are in an evacuation zone, this is a matter of life and death. Think about yourself. Think about your family. Keep yourself safe. We will get through this together. What is good to know is that we have a great team here at the City of Tampa. TPD is on standby. Tampa Fire Rescue is on standby, and so many other partners ready to assist in the recovery once this storm passes through. But in the meantime, we have to hunker down. We have to take all the precautions possible, not take anything for granted, because this is very serious. This is historically significant, and it could change Tampa as we know it. So we have to take all safety precautions and not take anything for granted. Having said that, I'd like to bring up Tampa Fire Chief Barbara Tripp.
Thank you. As the mayor and councilman has stated, the message we're trying to get out to everyone is about the evacuees. We want to thank the community for actually taking heed. We want to thank law enforcement, for taking their time going door to door to make sure we continue to protect our community. And most of all, we want everyone to be safe. So once again, if you're in those evacuation zones, we want you to make sure you get to a safe place. We have shelters throughout the city of Tampa and Hillsborough County. We will do everything we can to assist you to get to those shelters so you can be secure until the storm comes through. As the mayor stated, we're going to have wind, rain. We're going to have storm surge. Hurricane Helene presented some challenges, and a lot of people was affected by it, and we don't want that to take place with Hurricane Milton. Just to let you know, Tampa Fire Rescue is prepared. We do not abandon any fire stations, but whenever we're in the evacuation zone, we must leave as well. We continue to stay in those stations up until I decide to move those individuals way before the storm come here, because we know people are still leaving those areas in the case of any emergencies. So once again, we just want you to know that we're here for you, but when the time comes, we will remove those resources and put them in a safe place. Once again, we don't want to be put in any kind of danger. We want to be there to support our community, and we want you all to continue to help us help you. With that said, we have many resources that's been given to the City of Tampa, state and local resources, from additional transport units to additional strike team to additional water rescue teams. So we want to thank the community for all of their support as well. If you need any assistance, please reach out, text Tampa Ready to 888-777. Tampa Ready to 888-777, or for Spanish, Tampa Lista, 888-777, 888-777. That's Tampa, Lista. With that being said, we want everyone to be safe, and definitely take all your family, make sure you keep in touch with your family, and support one another. Want to thank the community. Now I'll introduce Chief Burkle.
Thank you, Chief. The last 2.5 days, all of my officers have been assisting in evacuation efforts throughout the city. In fact, if you think about it in level or zone A and zone B, everyone that needs to be evacuated is monumentous tax. All of our officers are out there and assisting. In fact, this morning, even the most vulnerable, we are out there trying to evacuate. We want to save lives, and we want to help. In fact, this morning, I was in South Tampa, south of Gandy, an elderly female who wanted to ride out the storm we spoke to yesterday. We were able to convince her this morning that she needed to go. Her plan was to stay in her house with a flotation device and attempt to weather the storm. And my fear is that there's more of her out there that are like that. And we've done everything that we can do to help everyone through this storm. But again, as I said before, the time's coming soon where we won't be able to respond. I will have to keep my officers in so we can respond out and assist everybody in the recovery efforts. So remember that we will get through this together, and to hunker down and stay safe. And I'll have Mary Lou from TICO.
So much shorter than him. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mary Lou Karn from Tampa Electric. Everyone at Tampa Electric has been working around the clock to prepare for a safe restoration from Hurricane Milton. We've assembled more than 5,000 utility workers to assist us as soon as the storm has passed and it's safe to do so. This is the largest deployment of utility workers that Tampa Electric has ever assembled for a storm restoration, just to give you a little idea of how serious we are taking this storm. With a storm of this magnitude and intensity, we expect for there to be some serious damage to our infrastructure, which may lead to extended outages. We ask that customers please be prepared for several days' worth of essentials and to have patience with us, please, as we work to restore power after the storm safely. If you should experience a power outage at any time before, during, or after the storm, you can report it to us. It's a method that we use to keep track of outages and to put them into our restoration work plans. You may go to our website at tampaelectric.com/storm to access our outage map. You may text OUT to 27079, or you can call us at 877-588-1010. So a few tips I'd like to give today mostly revolve around during storm and after storm activities, because that is the phase that we have entered. Again, if you're going to use a portable generator, it can't be said enough to please use it outside, away from enclosed spaces. It should be kept dry and away from the rain. To avoid flood waters, so say my hide energized lines. Those are, inside your home flood waters, outside your home flood waters. Always assume that down power lines are energized. If you see a down power line, that is an emergency and you should call 911. Do not touch the power line. Do not touch anything that the power line might be touching because it might conduct electricity. If you experience electrical damage or flooding from the storm, please keep your breaker turned off until a licensed electrician can inspect and repair your system. They will need to do that before we are able to restore power to your home. Additionally, to protect your items from power surges, so used to saying storm surge, power surges, please unplug any appliances that you are not using or anything that you do not want to have potential damage. In addition to that, I ask that if you see our crews in the field, that you please do not approach them while they're working. Although they love to have our customers, thank them for being in the area and love assisting, they are laser focused on their safety. This is a very complex restoration and everybody wants to get home safe. So please show your appreciation from a little bit of a distance. We also ask that if you're cleaning up after the storm, you please do not pile debris under the power lines or in areas where we would have to access a power line so that we can speed up our restoration activities. And if you're going to be digging in your yard or anywhere else to help clean up, please do not do so until you call 811. There are many underground power lines in the area, and if you start to dig, you might become in contact with an energized underground power line, which would be deadly. For more safety tips and more information that might be helpful to you in the storm, you can go to our storm center at tampaelectric.com/storm. Now, after the storm has passed and it is safe to do so, we will begin our outage restoration process. So whenever there is a power interruption, we take a priority restoration approach so that our community can respond as quickly as possible. The first thing that Tampa Electric does, as soon as it is safe, is that we ensure our power plants and transmission lines are in proper working order. Then we restore power to essential services to help the community: hospitals, police stations, fire stations. Once they are back online, we focus on public services such as communication providers, supermarkets, home improvement stores, things that will help people recover. After that, we work to restore the largest group of people in the shortest amount of time. So during our damage assessment process, we identify different levels of complexity to repair power. We begin with repairing power that may not be as complex, that will restore thousands of people at one time. That will happen before we go to individual homes or smaller outages. That just helps everybody get back online a lot faster. So I would like, just before closing, to say thank you to everyone for your collaboration and support. I'd like to thank my fellow Tampa Electric team members, the city, the county, the state, our first responders, and our customers. Thank you and stay safe.
Before we bring up Maribel Garrett for translation, I just want the community to understand the work that is going on, and that work is being done collaboratively. President Biden, the FEMA Administrator Siswell, Governor DeSantis, State Emergency Operations Chief Kevin Guthrie, everyone is working hand in hand to make sure that we have the resources that we need to go through this storm and then to recover effectively. We have all of our first responders on duty. We have just about all of our personnel on duty to clear streets afterwards, to make sure the water continues to run, that we don't have any wastewater overflows, that mobility, that we can get people up and moving again. But what I ask of the community, one is post-storm, please let your friends and relatives know you're okay. We'll be getting a number of calls saying, I can't get in touch with my family. Will you go check on them? So please let everybody know that you are okay. And also, can't stress this enough, whether you go to the state, to Hillsborough County, or to the city of Tampa, for us in Tampa, simply Tampa Ready to 888-777, Tampa Lista to 888-777, and you will get factual, real-time information. Don't go back outside until you have been told that it is safe to do so. You're going to have down power lines that could still be active, standing water. Who knows what is in that? You can't drive through that. So please wait until we make sure that it's safe for you to go outside. And again, we will be here with you every step of the way. Mirabel?
Thank you, Mayor Castor. Maribel Garrett para la comunidad de Tampa. El momento de prepararse ya terminó. Es momento de mantenerse en sus hogares. El huracán Milton tiene un potencial de tener consecuencias mortales, así que les pedimos por favor que no tomen riesgos innecesarios. Si aún necesita un albergue, puede comunicarse con Uber y usar el código Milton Relief para servicio gratuito hacia los refugios. Tenemos 10 de los 13 refugios que están disponibles todavía en este momento, pero como mencionamos, la ventana de disponibilidad se está cerrando. Ya hemos comenzado a sentir algunos de los efectos de las bandas del huracán, así que por favor recuerden que ya las condiciones del tiempo van a continuar deteriorándose con el impacto mayor comenzando en la tarde. Si aún no lo ha hecho, envíe el mensaje de texto Tampa Lista al número 888-777. Tampa Lista. Esto le da la oportunidad de recibir alertas en español directamente en sus teléfonos. Si viven en zonas de evacuación y decidieron permanecer en sus hogares, recuerden que los rescatistas de primeros auxilios pueden tener dificultad y no van a poder llegar a ustedes en caso de que haya una emergencia ya cuando los vientos aumenten. Recordándoles que si ven líneas caídas, por favor no las toque y considérelas como energizadas o vivas. Llame al 911 y repórtelas al TICO, llamando al 877-588-1010. 877-588-1010. No guíe por zonas inundadas. Para información sobre carreteras inundadas, visite a tampa.gov/flood maps. Si tienen preguntas, pueden llamar a nuestro banco de teléfonos al 1-833-872-4636. Repito, 833-872-4636. Por favor, le pedimos a todos nuestros residentes que se mantengan en sus hogares. No es momento de tomar riesgos innecesarios, así que vamos a esperar al huracán en nuestras casas para mantenernos sanos y seguros.